Hi guys, welcome to Eminent Scholars Academy. In today's class, we'll be looking at this question from UTME. The force on a charge Q moving with a velocity V in magnetic field B is half of the maximum force when the angle between the field and the velocity is dash. So we have to obtain the angle between the velocity of the charge and the magnetic field B when the force experienced by the charge is half of the maximum force. So to solve this question, we'll be using the Lorentz force law. The Lorentz force law is that law that gives an expression for the force that a charge is going to experience whenever it enters a magnetic field, and it is equals to Q into bracket V cross B. It's a cross product. So in our vector multiplication, V cross B, the cross product of two vectors is just the magnitude of the two vectors multiplied by the sign of angle between them. That is, F should become QVB sine theta. QVB sine theta. This is the Lorentz force law without an electric field added to it. So another concept here is the maximum force. When is the force going to be maximum? When is the charge going to experience maximum force? Now, maximum value is that value that will retain the value we have here. Maximum angle is that value of theta that will make this thing here to remain there. So the velocity can either be parallel, the charge can either move parallel to the field or perpendicular to the field. So when it moves parallel to the field, that means the angle is 0. So in that case, there will be no force. Sine 0 is 0. So the maximum force is experienced only when the electron or the charge moves perpendicular to the field. That the maximum force is when theta is 90 degrees. So putting 90 degrees here, that means our maximum force is just QVB because sine 90 is 1. So we are now asked to find theta. So we can actually call this one equation 1, then we call this one equation 2. So we are now asked to find theta when this particular force. So what is theta? When this particular force here is half, is 1/2 of the maximum force. So what can we say? We can actually come back to this equation 1 by saying F sub max over 2 is going to be QVB sine theta. And we have seen from equation 1 that our F max is what? Equation 2 rather, that our F max is what? QVB. Put the value there, we have what? QVB over 2 to be equals to what? QVB sine theta. So we can actually cancel out QVB on both sides. So we are left with what? We are left with 1/2 to be equals to sine theta. If you take the arc sine of both sides, so our theta should be equals to arc sine of 1/2, which is actually what? 30 degrees. So option A is the correct answer here. So that is the answer. It implies that for the force experienced by the charge to be half of the maximum force, the velocity and the magnetic field must be at an angle of 30 degrees to each other. Thank you very much for watching. Do like, share. Thank you.